we're going to get into a little bit of a discussion about stakeholders. So again, we have another definition here. A stakeholder is an individual, a group, or an organization that may affect or be affected by or perceive themselves to be affected by a decision, activity, or outcome of your project or program or portfolio. So stakeholders have a stake in the project and its deliverables, right? So the project manager really needs to work with the team and identify the stakeholders early in the project and plan for their engagement, plan how they're going to be managed, and also throughout the project monitor their engagement. Stakeholders need to be engaged along the way throughout the entire project because they can help or hinder a project's success. So maybe think about a time, have you ever had, James or Karen, have you ever had a project where you had a stakeholder that, maybe they had, a pretty big influence on the outcome of the project, but maybe their needs weren't met entirely, and then, something happened where, it caused an issue on the project or something like that, I can think of a couple of examples where, that happened, where maybe a stakeholder wasn't identified early enough and they come in and they say, oh, I need this and this and this. Well, that's contrary to what you've already done or what the requirements are. And, so then you might have to do a change control, or you might have to change your scope or something like that to be able to accommodate, especially if they're a very, key or prominent stakeholder. This figure here that's on the slide, this is figure 1-1. Yeah, James, I bet, especially in construction, I would imagine that would be something that would happen. But this figure talks about, all the different types of stakeholders that could be on a project. So you would have a project manager, you would have your project team, resource managers, you would have your sponsors, your governing body, your PMO, your steering committee, and then also, suppliers and end users and customers. All of those are going to be considered stakeholders. And you can reference this on page 551 in the PMBOK if you want to see it there for whatever reason. I think it kind of is understandable, and we talked about this too, stakeholders can have competing interests or needs or priorities or opinions. So, those competing or conflicting visions for the project outcome can, need to be carefully managed so that, it doesn't have an impact on the outcome of the project or the overall management. So the project manager's got to identify those internal and external stakeholders as early as possible, learn and understand their needs, and secure their participation.